right, now we're going to take a look at Aviendha. So Aviendha started her period on May 3rd, and she has a 33-day cycle. She typically has a very heavy period that lasts for 3 days. Cycles as long as 40 days or as short as 21 days are fairly common. In such cases, the length of the follicular phase and timing of ovulation vary, but the luteal phase remains constant. It is always 14 days from the time of ovulation to the end of the cycle. So we're doing the same thing as before, but this is a little bit more of a realistic scenario because not all women have 28-day cycles, and we don't normally start on the first of the month, so we kind of have to take all of this into consideration. So let's start with this. Let's number the days of the cycle. Let's see if we can get all the calendar in there. Yeah, black is okay. So she started her period on May 3rd, and then I'm going to go ahead and number that all the way up through 33 because that's how long her cycle lasts. Okay, so there we have her 33-day cycle planned out, and now we need to figure out like when is her follicular phase and when is her luteal phase. But the problem is the follicular phase varies, so we have to kind of think about how long it would be. However, we know that the luteal phase always has to last 14 days. So if we count backwards from 14 days right here, we will get the length of her luteal phase. So those 14 days that I underlined, that is going to be her luteal phase. And now we know that the rest of it is going to be the follicular phase. So go ahead and take highlighters last time and label that. All right, let's compare notes. So Aviendha's follicular phase happens to be 19 days long, and then her luteal phase is the last 14 days of her cycle. So now we're going to do the same thing, but with the uterine cycle. So she told us that she has a heavy period that lasts for 3 days. So we know that the first 3 days has to be her menstrual phase, and then the secretory phase is always the same as the luteal phase. So now you can highlight that. All right, and now we have her uterine cycle on the calendar. So let's try to figure out when she would ovulate, because it's not going to be on day 14 anymore because her follicular phase is longer than that. The follicle is going to take longer to develop. She will, or any female will always ovulate on the last day of the follicular phase. So that makes the 21st her day of ovulation. And then if we try to figure out when would sex maybe lead in fertilization, well, definitely the day she ovulates, and even the day after, because remember the egg stays viable. And then the sperm can live in the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days before. So 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is our day of ovulation.